So I'm back on that subject, love again, man. Think about a relationship between a mother and an infant, or an infant and the father, right? So the infant is born naked, ignorant, and dependent. And every movement and everything that the infant does is designed to keep the mother and the father in close proximity, because without them, the infant cannot survive. So the infant is cooing and crying and laughing and making noise and fussing, all to keep mom close, all to keep dad close. And our relationships really don't get much better than that throughout life. We are constantly looking for somebody to give us the love that we need in order to thrive. And the people around us, your mother and father, did the best they could. And as we get older, we're trying to refine how we cultivate, maintain, and spread love. That's what we're supposed to be doing. And the people that do that the best do the best in life, I think. Like, you might have material success, but without love, it's hollow. You might have academic success, but without love in your life, it still lacks something. And people are unhappy. So I want to talk about this because I think this is an area that we don't talk about enough, especially men, and we suffer as a result. We end up going through life looking for love in all the wrong places. And if you don't get enough love, if you've been abandoned by your parents, you've been abandoned by the people that you needed, there's a way in which we feel ashamed about that. We don't feel good about that. We don't feel good about ourselves. And it's easier to blame ourselves for that than to blame our caregivers. And we can get stuck in a loop. And if we have enough shame and we feel bad enough long enough, it can turn into self-hatred. And then at that point, it's a much more dangerous thing that we're dealing with. We have much worse outcomes. And so it's really important to think about that. And I'm not talking about sexual love. I'm not talking about romantic love. I'm just talking about caring. I'm talking about safety, feeling safe. Some of us don't have a lot of experience with relational safety. Some of us don't have a lot of experience with exploring our emotional lives, our feelings, our thoughts and feelings. And when we don't have that, it's hard to get the best out of ourselves. It's hard to be the best people that we can be. So a form of love is trying to help bring out the best in another person. Bring out the best in ourselves. And sometimes we try that and we just don't do a good job of it. But I think that one of the things that we got to do is keep trying, keep coming back. And so I'm talking about this whole issue of love because I think, man, a lot of times we suffer. Socialized not to talk about feelings, socialized to not know what we want or how to get it. And then we find ourselves in relationships where we're frustrated. Our relationships sometimes don't work. And so it's real important for us to rethink, take another look at our emotional lives and our relationships. And I think one area where we need to have conversation, not just this one, but a lot more conversation, is about love. What does it mean to you? How do you get it? How do you keep it? How important is it to you? I think it's very important, even if we don't talk about it, even if it's not that popular for men to talk about it. And I think when men talk about love, we typically talk about romantic love. We typically talk about sex. And I'm not talking about that right now. Because I think we can confuse sex for love. But anyway, I think this is an important subject. I think when we see people struggling, when we see people acting out, when we see people unhappy, I think on some level we could say that person isn't getting enough love, that there's something going on with the quality of love in their life. Now, love doesn't make all the hardship and all the problems that we go through as human beings go away, but I think it does help us cope with and get through real difficult situations. And it is a real difficult situation to be a human being. You know, we still are ignorant. You know, we still are alone. We still are dependent. And if no one helps us, you know, we don't get very far. And in fact, infants die 100% of the time if nobody's there to pick them up and coo and look at them and talk to them and bounce them and rock them. They don't survive physically. And I don't think we survive physically without the right kind of love. So that's why I'm talking about this. This is important. See, you know, here's my question to you, right? What lessons about love did you learn in your childhood? Yeah, get like I said, get down in the comments and let me know. If you think I'm all wet, tell me. If you think this is helpful, let me know that too. Till next time.